30 stupidest cases lawyers have seen, according to Reddit. Number 30. When I was in law school, I did the criminal defense clinic where we help a public defender. I say help because they just give you small cases to do by yourself. I had a guy accused of shoplifting a yellow FUBU shirt. Guess what he wore to the trial? A goddamn yellow FUBU shirt. I asked the prosecutor to re-offer the plea deal. She did, and I convinced the guy to take community service and probation, if I remember correctly. Our public defending system is tragically overworked and underfunded. Number 29. Probably too late here, but I was a civil rights investigator. We had one guy complain that he was fired from his factory job because of his race. He was black. Owner of the factory said it was because the guy was smoking crack on his lunch break. He thought it was because he was black. It was actually because he's smoking crack. Turns out he was smoking crack on his lunch break, but so were a few of his white co-workers, and they were not fired. The owner agreed to pay the guy 6 months of back pay and give him a neutral reference. Nice.
So it was because he was black.
Well, I guess. Sometimes it's because you're black and because you're smoking crack, all right? But the white guy smoked a crack, ain't breaking mama back. What the fuck? Smoking crack, dude? You know, I want to say that I understand if it was cocaine, but crack? Where the hell are y'all living?
Wait, I've been under the impression for years that crack and cocaine are the same thing. I thought it was just shorthand.
You're very wrong.
Oh.
You're very wrong. Crack is the worst variation, the cheap variation of cocaine. So number 28, a lady in prison in my state tried to sue the State Department of Corrections for holding her against her will. Her lawyer wouldn't touch it. you trying to sue the jail for holding them against their will? You're going straight to jail. But I don't want to go to jail. I'm going to sue you people. I don't want to be here. The fuck? Number 27. I have a friend who's a lawyer. One time, he worked a customer. That's not what that says. Try that again. One time, he worked a custody battle for a man following his divorce. The primary argument was that his ex-wife was a massive bitch and would negatively impact the development of the children. The evidence consisted of statements from coworkers, Facebook arguments, and a list of HOA complaints she filed for frivolous things. He said it was a legitimate case, but everything about it was pretty petty and stupid. The guy won. Wow.
Oh.
Sometimes when you bitch to the maximum, ladies, it's enough to hold up in court. Oh my God. The court rules in favor of the man. This lady a bitch. The fuck?
They never side with the dude in these custody battles. That's really impressive.
Well, he must have had some considerably, I mean, as a man of reason, logic, and ration. You know what I'm talking about? Come at me in the comment section, Justice Warriors. Number 26.
Look, I know you can make me look like a monster without even trying, but could you make any woman look like a monster?
That's crazy. They do it themselves. Number 26. When I was a federal prosecutor, an NCIS agent wanted me to prosecute federally someone living near the base for flying the US flag the wrong way. I didn't, and he was miffed. Imagine being upset about something so corny. Number 25, guys. I'm in immigration, so most of my stupid cases involve people trying to con the system or forgot to tell us material information. One lady stood out though. She was referred to us as a pro bono case. She was filing for asylum based on the fact that she's a Chinese national and she's also a devout Christian. Devout. Do you think they meant devout?
They probably meant devout.
Because this says devout.
Devote.
Isn't devout spelled U-T?
Devout.
Having or showing deep religious feeling or commitment, a devout Christian would surely have been the term that made sense. But fuck me, I guess we don't live in a world where
Chinese Christians. That seems like an oxymoron to me.
Why? Because all Chinese must subscribe to whatever corny ass Chinese religion they got going on as the mainstay.
I just thought it didn't spread to China. I don't know. It's just
So
under that
you
impression.
think that's like saying you didn't know that there were, you know, I don't know, black Jews or something.
Tell me more.
I keep forgetting that Stripes is a bitch, you know, not like a she is a bitch, you know what I mean? But in the technical, I'm going to get a rise out of you. Let's derail this because this is how I like to get down type of way. And it's so crazy how at the beginning of some of these list, Stripes, I almost forget who you are. Isn't it crazy? And no, I just completely like turn over a new leaf for you. And then sometimes when you say these things and I think to myself, what the fuck are you talking about? You can't seriously believe that. And then I remember. I always remember. But why do I have to remember? You know what I mean? There's this one episode of American Dad where I think Steve is trying to get Stan's attention and have him respect him following an incident at a movie theater. So he concocts this whole idea to become a superhero, and then they're gonna reveal the identity of Steve as the superhero by having him walk through the living room, and then the superhero outfit just falls out of the bag, and he's all like, oh my god, that just fell out. I guess you know my identity now as that hero, right? And then Roger inevitably ends up taking the costume and doing that before Steve gets the chance to. So Stan is under the impression that Roger is actually the hero and gives him all the respect that Steve was seeking. There's a later scene in the bedroom where Steve just starts crying and Roger was like, you know, I'm sorry, champ. You should have seen it coming. And then Steve is wailing, why didn't I see it coming? Because Roger's character has never changed. And neither will yours, Stripes.
What? I might have an arc. I might come full circle and you might appreciate me.
Sorry, I was thinking about hitting you so hard that you sailed through the sky and that you did sail in an arc. To continue with number 25, forgive this interruption, one lady stood out though. She was referred to us as a pro bono case. She was filing for asylum based on the fact that she's a Chinese national and that she's also a devout Christian. If she was sent back, she would be persecuted based on religious reasons. So nothing weird up to this point. She provided me with statements about how she and her family were harassed by the local police and how certain members of her congregation were arrested. So I'm looking at the statements and the names and the places sound familiar. Sure enough, a quick Googling showed that this was one of the bought stories. Essentially, what happens is there are people on the internet that sell these packages of fake documents and stories for a successful asylum case. From what I've heard, it usually is a real case that was successful, and someone got a hold of supporting documents and started mass producing them and selling them. I'm guessing you're supposed to change the names from the original, but this lady didn't. Another red flag was the fact that in her supporting documents, the witnesses kept referring to her in the male form. At first, I thought the English translation had typos, but yeah, same thing in the original Chinese ones. I always thought it was more of an urban legend amongst immigration lawyers. Needless to say, I did not take her case. That's awesome. That you could just basically build a monkey-ass case and then essentially plagiarize the specifics of it. That's worse than like homework. That's worse than you doing homework and just going online and stealing some paper. Like there's people out there selling what you looking for as far as documents. The internet is a wild place, man. And I still haven't figured out a good way to make money. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, I've already failed because I should have at least associated myself with somebody who's rich by this point. You know what I'm talking about? And have them just be like, oh my gosh, Kale, you're so great. Here's that money. You know what I mean? And then they do like the, you know, like the jump shot. Where you do that thing with your hand like you're throwing a basketball and hoop. No? Well, what the fuck have you done today, Stripes?
I finished, well, yeah, I already finished that Roadhog. I've been working for 3 days now.
Stripes and her commission artwork. Number 24. On the list of 30 stupidest cases lawyers have seen One prospective client wanted me to sue Burger King for no longer serving pancakes. They still serve pancakes, don't they? Because I saw that they used to have like 3 for 89 cents, and that's pretty good. That's what I'm talking about. No?
I don't like their pancakes.
I mean,
really like
pancakes are pancakes. You know what I mean? How you know? I don't know. I'm the wrong guy, because I'm the type of guy where it doesn't matter what it is. I'm the type of guy that wants Velveeta, freaking chicken Alfredo.
There's certain foods I won't eat.
Hey, can I share something with you really quick? The other day, here's the thing. What I love are the Velveeta chicken Alfredo, little microwavable monkey balls. But they don't allow you to put that on the wish list unless it's the other variation, right? You know what I mean? Like, I guess the Velveeta ones are what they call it. The Velveeta ones are...
Do these need to be sent to you in a fridge truck?
No, they don't, because they can stay out. They don't need to be refrigerated. The Velveeta ones are prime pantry or prime, right? So they won't let you put it on the monkey list. Now, here's what I'm trying to say. There's another variation of this that had such bad reviews that I almost couldn't resist it. Do you understand? And here it is, okay? It's the Velveeta Cheesy Bowl Bacon Mac and Cheese. It's 1-star reviewed. And it says there are only 6 customer reviews, though. But all of them appear to be bad. So here we go. Hope you like liquid smoke, says Dr. Medigon. The bacon tastes like cardboard soaked with liquid smoke. The smoky flavor permeates everything. There's no taste of bacon or cheese, only liquid smoke.
Ugh.
A 1-star review from TechieMan33 says, terrible. I really like the normal Velveeta bacon shells and cheese. I couldn't even finish this. God damn, the man must have thrown it away. A 1-star review from Teddy Jinsong Huang says, normal Velveeta is so much better. Absolute disaster. Normal Velveeta is so much better. A 1-star review from Jason Erwin says, yuck. I really like the shells and cheese, but these bowls taste like if a foot could fart in your mouth. Wow. A 1-star review from Ricky, the kid of burden stripes. The bacon is disgusting and the cheese is bad too. The noodles are mushy, the bacon is disgusting, and the cheese is bad too. Let me reiterate, the cheese is bad too. And a 2-word review from Jet, pretty disgusting. God damn. Now what the fuck did this item do to get people pissed off to it like this? You know what I'm talking about? As we freaking travel back to the 30 stupidest cases that lawyers have seen, we arrive at number 23. A guy was arrested for marijuana possession. Arresting officer never actually opened the tinfoil bundle involved and checked that it was, in fact, not a burrito. Now, you're getting arrested for marijuana possession, bro. You know what I mean? You know, have you asked no questions? They're putting you in cuffs. They're taking you away. They're not asking any questions. You're not saying anything. At what point, while you're on the way to somewhere, do you open up your mouth and say, you know, there's a burrito in there? Somebody said, edit. No, the guy says, edit. Thank you all for your concerns and tips. This was 18 years ago, so I hope my client found a lawyer. And you are all the beneficiaries of his foresight and proper sense of outrage. I love it. Wait, that was to the last one about the pancakes.
Yeah, you were reading the one about pancakes.
Look, fine. The edit to this one says, judge tossed the case and it was a misdemeanor. They don't go CSI and reach back to any collected evidence. They just roll their eyes and let everyone go home in situations like this. Well, number 22. I had a client come in saying that he needed to sue Stu for robbing all his checks. When I asked him if Stu had a last name, he said no. When I asked him if he knew any Stu, he said no. When I asked him what proof he had that Stu was robbing him, he showed me all of his pay stubs. They were clear monthly deductions by SCU. As soon as I saw that, I knew. I asked, do you have children? And he said yes. I told him, your stew is SCU, the Support Collection Unit. They take money out of your check to pay for your child. He left the office insisting that we needed to find Stu. He should have hired Liam Neeson. Somebody said, that's really fucking sad. Well, some people are stupid, man. Not too stupid to stick their dick in something and have a kid, though. You know what I mean? How sad is that? Number 21, guys. Let me preface this. You like preface or preface? What do you like? Preface sounds stupid,
preface. Though. I don't like preface.
Preface sound weird. What do you think? What do you think Google has to say about it?
Preface.
She said it the way that I say that. She say it how like I say. She say how like I say be do lad. Number 21. Let me preface this. Okay, let me see. Let me preface this. I had heard. Sorry, I kicked the microphone, and then it threw me off balance. You ever throw something else off balance and throw you off balance? Wow. You should see the look I'm giving the imaginary camera right now. Let me preface this. I had heard about the guy I'm going to mention below before I had actually met him. I thought this was an urban legend until he came into my office one day. What?
What's that button thing over there?
Don't worry about it because nobody else can see it. What's that button thing over there? It's a pop-up notification. A guy in his late 50s, early 60s comes into the lobby area of my office and starts a commotion that freaks out the receptionist. I was the closet attorney. Hello, guys. Does anyone need a lawyer? I'm sorry. Shut up. I was the closest attorney to the lobby, so I go out and talk to the guy. He was clearly mentally disturbed and presented the following story. Someone had implanted a device in his brain that was controlling his behavior. He believed it was being controlled by Baskin-Robbins and a former mayor of Detroit. He believed they were forcing him to do random things like going to bars to drink, taking the wrong turn when driving, forcing him to retire from his job, and a lot of other very intricate things. After asking him if I had seen any doctors regarding the implant, he got really upset and said that he thought the doctors were in on it as well. After telling him I couldn't help him and suggesting he find some new doctors, he asked me if I knew any lawyers who specialized in this kind of case. I often wonder if the lawyer I referred him to was able to help him.
What's Baskin-Robbins?
Baskin-Robbins is like a place that sells ice cream stripes. It's like a Dairy Queen. I'm sure they sell cakes and ice cream cakes and shit like that too. I've never been inside of Baskin-Robbins. You know, I used to work at a Cold Stone. I know of Dairy Queen. Those are pretty much the gamut of the maybe Marble Slab. I don't know any other ice cream places. You know. I'm not the type of guy that can enjoy ice cream so hard that it's just like, well, it's time to go out somewhere where they're going to put that ice cream the way that I like it. Oh, shit. You know what I just realized? Emily has sent me Oreo cookies. There's cookies and cream ice cream in the fridge. I can, like, put some of that in a bowl and, like, cut it up. You know what I'm talking about? I also had some spades from Cold Stone Creamery at the old house in Miami that I forgot to bring here.
I thought I finished all your Oreos.
Oreos?
Oreos.
What makes you think that I took out all of what I had to put in front of you, Stripes? You know I didn't get 2 out of that freaking thing that you opened?
Because you hated it.
Well, it wasn't that I hated it. I just thought it was too rich. And it's better with things that I find too rich because I'm a fat man and I'll sit down and devour everything if I like it too much. So it's almost better to get flavors of things that I don't dislike, but don't like as much as certain other flavors, because otherwise I'll just sit there and eat them handful after handful. That's what happens with Lay's Stacks. That's what happens with, Kit Kats, you name it. If it's something that's so good where I'm just like, you know what I mean? I'm Cookie Monster for everything. And you really didn't let me get more than 2 cookies out of that entire pack of Oreos. You fatty little, you little Stripes.
Be clear with me next time, then.
I don't care. It was for you to eat. It's just saying. You know, I was shocked when I went to reach for it and there was nothing in there. That's all I'm saying. So God help the other packs if I had ever revealed them from the box in which I hid them. You know what I mean? They weren't. I didn't hide them, but they were.
Food for me?
You're an idiot. Number 20, man. I'm a prosecutor, so oh shit, I just remembered. I have to make something for Megan, but I'm not sure how or what.
Who's Megan? What does she want?
Megan's the girl who sent me something from Tokyo. And for a while, I thought she was full of shit, but it turns out she was being legit. So, you know, now I really have to show her that she's special. Because she is, and I'm sorry. Oh, God. Let's get through this first, one at a time. Number 20. I'm a prosecutor, so I don't get hired to represent anyone. I work for the government, but I do have discretion over how I prosecute, how the prosecution progress. Oh, my God. I do have discretion over how the prosecution progresses, i.e. deciding to proceed, you know, the crazy thing about English is that all of the words are supposed to be pronounced differently based on context. You know what I mean? And it pisses me off sometimes because unless you basically proofread the damn sentence first, sometimes how you deliver things. Oh my God. I'm a prosecutor, so I don't get hired to represent anyone. I work for the government, said some faggot putting something in parentheses. But I do have discretion over how the prosecution progresses. He goes into parentheses again, i.e. deciding to proceed, deciding what offer in the event of the
Fleece.
Oh my God. Deciding to proceed, deciding what to offer in the event of a plea bargain, deciding to withdraw the charges, etc. I had a case a few months ago where a man was charged with shoplifting. Turned out he was 70 years old, had absolutely no criminal record, and had shoplifted a sandwich which he ate politely in the store. He honestly thought he had paid for it. I was so angry that he was ever charged in the first place, and when I saw him in court, he was absolutely terrified. I withdrew the charges and wished him well. I have no idea how it progressed that far.
Wow.
Oh.
I thought this was going to end with her paying for the sandwich she robbed, but I guess that's not how court works.
It was a man. Turns out he was a 70-year-old.
No, I meant she paid for the sandwiches in the law.
Oh,
the
yeah.
lawyer.
Yeah. Again, man. Nuts. Our system's crazy. See, if it was a black man that ate that sandwich, he'd be in jail for 70 more years. You know what I'm talking about? Number 19. I did insurance defense for a long time, including insurance fraud investigations for insurance companies. How many times are you going to write insurance in one sentence, you cuck? You wouldn't believe how many people take a video inventory of their house only to have it mysteriously burned down the next day. You really can't fix stupid.
I don't think there's a synonym for insurance, though. What else? What other word would they use?
You just rework the sentence so that you wouldn't have to use the word insurance.
I get you.
Yeah. Number 18. I'm a lawyer, but this happened to a friend of mine. He got engaged, and apparently this pissed off the ex-girlfriend. Now we're talking. The ex-girlfriend sued him for custody of their 2 cats and $500,000 for something like the lost value of the cats because she claimed they were service animals. They were not at all service animals. Women are crazy, man.
They're service cats? I didn't know.
Somebody said a service animal worth 500 grand better be trained to wipe my ass, cook me dinner, and do my taxes. Somebody else said and trained to thoroughly wash its hands after wiping your ass and before cooking dinner. Otherwise, it's only worth 425,000 if you have to wash their hands yourself. What kind of service animal is this? Pay $500,000 for this? Gotta wash your paws? Cooking me dinner. Number 17. Man,
there's good money in training dogs. I mean, training work animals.
I don't want to have to get down on my knees to train no dumbass animals. God.
But like the payout though.
Nah. Number 17. Man wanted to sue a tour group he signed up with because some people got 2 peanut butter sandwiches, but he only got 1. He was a grown-up man who had held a real job and functioned in society. I mention this because I have several obviously disturbed people over the years seek representation, but I'm not including them because they were obviously crazy. They transmitters and the teeth type stuff. the peanut butter sandwich incident. Look, man, I like to think that everybody's got a breaking point.
I think there's a slippery slope. And
Oh,
I guess he's reached it.
no.
What's up?
Oh, babe.
Oh.
There's somebody pulling up outside. Maybe I can stop this video and then combine it with another one. I apologize.
Okay.
We'll be fine. We're not going to waste this, but we got to combine it. So what are we on, number 17?
Yeah.
And then we'll go to 16 after. Okay. Number 16. Woman wanted to sue McDonald's because their employees beat up her son, who was trying to rob the place. Nice. Number 15. I never did much criminal defense, but a man, who we'll call Dennis, came into my office with driving while intoxicated charge and an aggravated unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle charge, both misdemeanors. Dennis swore up and down and sideways that 1. He does not drink and was not intoxicated, 2. He never drove the vehicle, and 3. That he has a valid driver's license. I give Dennis the name of some local criminal defense and DUI attorneys and suggest that he try them out. Dennis refuses, saying I'm the lawyer he wants. In hindsight, I should have realized that he probably had already gone to these attorneys and only came to me after they refused to take his case. I charged the guy $200 for an intake and record review fee and contacted the local court, police station, and district attorney's office for information and paperwork. I find out that not only did this guy blow a .18 on the breathalyzer, but the cops did a blood test on him after he kept insisting he wasn't drunk. The blood test came back with a .22. Oh my God, BAC. As for driving, the separate squad cars witnessed Dennis's vehicle run over a mailbox and drive off. He was followed and pulled over on the block. Per the police report, Dennis was the only person in the car and was in the driver's seat with a seatbelt on. Oh, and I tracked down his license through the DMV and it had expired 3 years ago. That's not a short amount of time. And he was suspended for 2 years prior to that. Jesus. I called Dennis back into my office and told him he did not have a case and that should be taken to trial. Dennis admitted that he probably had been drunk, but he wasn't aware he had been drinking. Oh.
What?
His son must have put Fireball whiskey in his green tea, and he didn't realize that there was whiskey in his green tea because he was eating red hot cinnamon candies and a cold stuffy nose. Okay. Anyway, Dennis retains me, but only after I put a clause in his engagement agreement stating that I explained his low chance at trial and he understood that there were no guarantee of a win. I take this case to trial and of course we lose. I was hoping to convince Dennis to take one of the plea offers given to us in advance, but absolutely not. Dennis was sure the judge would understand. Dennis wanted a bench trial, not a jury trial, and I made him sign another document later on that said he understood the difference between a bench trial and a jury trial, and he was opting for the bench trial, and he would be found not guilty and everyone would move on. He was sorely disappointed, but only got probation after trial. I think the judge was taking pity on me more than Dennis. Dennis later sued me for his retainer because I didn't adequately defend him. As proof of my inadequate representation, he offered the judge's verdict rendering him guilty. The case was thrown out quickly. What a waste of taxpayers' fucking money, Stripes. What a waste. I'm sorry, guys. Sweets is sending me a couple of messages on Steam. She sent me something and I'm trying to, make her aware of how wonderful she is for that all the way from Japan gift. But I'm in the middle of a list too, so I can't even do it. But I'll get back to her. If she's listening to this, I'll get back to you. Don't worry about it.
Is this the same person as Nicole, or is that what the name you
Who
used?
the fuck is Nicole?
Well, I don't know. You said you called her something else earlier.
Megan?
Megan, that's it.
What? How does that? Who's Nicole, Stripes?
I thought Megan was Nicole.
Who's Nicole?
No one. I just thought that was the name you used. I didn't remember the name, so I just used a woman name that I hear a lot.
A woman name. Stripes is fun, dude. Here's a woman named Nicole, whatever. I'm tired of it. Number 14. NB, this is pretty graphic, so you might want to skip this one if you don't have a strong stomach. Now that's what I'm talking about. The guy who cut off all of his fingers would be a serious contender. He clearly had some really awful mental illness, and I assumed schizophrenia or psychosis, but I never really found out what his deal was. This dude cut off all his fingers, Stripes. Anyway, he had decided one evening that a good way to get some money would be to break into a butcher shop and use a meat saw to cut all of his fingers and both thumbs off of his knuckles, which is pretty much exactly what he did. He was found the next morning somehow having survived, and he was put in a mental health facility and made a pretty much full, albeit fingerless, recovery. Anyway, he wanted to sue someone. He didn't really know who he wanted to sue. He just had got it in his head that if he was injured, he would get some sort of compensation. I remember the biggest question was whether he would get more money if he went back and cut off his feet too. Dude, you can't jump from digits to fucking, you know what I mean? You can't jump from, it's not like you cut off your hands before, you cut off your fingers, so you would then cut off your toes. You can't cut off your feet, dude. Jesus Christ.
Maybe,
from one crazy man to another, you can't jump from digits to whole. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, what?
Do you think he has some kind of dysphoria?
What?
Do you think he really cut off his fingers because he has some kind of dysphoria, or he just was looking for money?
He had some kind of what?
Dysphoria.
Dysphoria?
Yes.
Thought you were mispronouncing disorder.
No.
That would have been my jam, Stripes. You think he got some kind of disorder? I'd be like, what? What do you have?
Dysphoria is the thing where you don't feel comfortable, like extremely uncomfortable about something about yourself. Like,
the nigga was just crazy. You think people cut off their fingers? You hear about that often? Hell no, you don't.
I do, actually.
Oh, you hear about people cutting off their fingers on the reg?
What? On their rag? Did you say on the rag?
On the reg.
Oh, on the regular. I understand now.
Number 13. My dad is an in-house lawyer for a major American insurance company. He once spent an entire year trying to help deny insurance benefits for a painter who had stepped off his ladder onto a cat, fallen down the stairs, and become paralyzed. The insurance company was arguing that a cat was a commonly expected occupational hazard for a painter, and that he was negligent in not checking for cats before stepping down. A whole year of his life over whether a cat is a known occupational hazard of house painting. Oh
no. I guess that's something I'll keep in mind when I'm working from home.
Wouldn't be the first time pussy got somebody in trouble. Number 12, lawyer of 12 years, client was charged with stealing a mobile toilet. After we won, he told me he still owns it. The fucker has the thing in his backyard because he was lazy as fuck. His office was nearby. You mean like one of those porta potty shitters? He says he forced him to deliver it back at night. Jesus, still offended that he lied to me the whole time. Me? Did he know that somebody has to service it with a shit sucker truck every week or so? Was he sucking up his own turds with a shop vac? Porta potty ownership is not as glamorous as the movies make it out to be. Somebody else says, usually I put the shop vac right up my ass and cut out the middleman. Okay. Number 11, guys. I run a consumer advocacy firm. I had a client come in and tell me that he bought a product and the company refused to honor the warranty after the product broke. I asked for details and he just started screaming in my face, asking if I was going to take his money or not. I decided that I wasn't taking him on as a client, but I wanted to know what was going on. I convinced him to tell me what was happening. Turns out he bought a computer back in the 1990s and it had just recently died, but not because it was old and just stopped working. It was slow, so he picked it up and threw it out of a 2-story window. And then he wanted to sue the manufacturer for breaking the warranty. Edit. Well, there goes my inbox.
Don't warranties usually expire in the first 3 years?
Stripes, it's from the 1990s. So, of course, you know, the warranty isn't extending over 20 freaking years. The hell. Number 10. A guy found a rock in the middle of Melbourne CBD that he believed came from an underground volcano. What the fuck? Oh my god. Therefore, he discovered the volcano and he owned the whole volcano. That the Melbourne City Council, and indeed the Victorian government should pay him rent to live on top of his underground volcano. No, I did not take on the case. No, volcano, no. Fun fact, Australia is the only continent with no active volcanoes.
Wait, is there a volcano in America? I didn't know. Where?
You think I'm gonna fall for that, Stripes? You think I'm gonna fall for that? Is that what you think, Stripes? That I'm just some kind of sap? And I'll fall for whatever dumbass monkey, what, really? Trick that you playing this today?
I'm just, like... I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Go on. Never mind.
Number 9. My father is a patent attorney. And when I was around 14, he told me about a guy who wanted to patent the iPhone 3 because aliens, and given him the design for it. My father told him that if the aliens originally designed, oh my god, then they were the then they were the ones to then they were the ones to patent it, not him. Every time we start a list, I think to myself, dude, you should do 20. You know, by the time you'll reach the end, it'll be really good. It'll seem great. It'll just flow. The momentum won't be compromised. But then I always do 30 Stripes, thinking, okay, I want it to be longer. I want people to, you know, get the distraction or, you know, the money's worth that they're looking for, dude. And every time we reach by about number 10, my steam, it just leaves me. And I'm thinking, you could have prevented this, you son of a bitch.
Are you telling me that half of you is here and half of you is somewhere else?
I can finish this. It's just gonna... just took a snort of cocaine and we're ready to go. Number 8. I once represented a guy who was denied unemployment benefits after being fired from his job as a jizz mopper at an adult video store for sexual harassment.
Well...
Aww.
Wait.
You're a jizz mopper at an adult video store, right? And you gotta think a lot of the girls that go out there because they're into exhibition or they want to be fucked, you know what I mean, in front of people or get good videos or something like that, they're all about being touched and groped and being whatever. So like, how gross and pervy, or I guess like physical, do you need to be to not take a hint from a woman that you're getting too close at an adult video store, like at a sex store? You know what I'm talking about?
Like, maybe he was under the mindset that any woman that shows up there must be asking for
But
it.
still, Stripes, my point is this. Like I said, a lot of the girl. Oh, are you implying that like some random girl who just shows up because she wants to buy a dildo or wants to just get something discreet and then get out, and then he abuses them or touches them or is inappropriate? In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, some girls show up and they want to get their ass out, they want to get their titties out, and they want to be, you know, be an exhibitionary type thing, right? Where, you know, maybe they want guys to walk up and grope them, or maybe they're trying to get videos for the internet where it's just like, oh, getting crazy, and you know, there are booths in the back where women can go and you know, have a time with some fucking strangers at these adult video shops. I'm thinking that this guy's a jizz mopper, Stripes. It is what it sounds like, you know what I mean? And he's going across some of these girls who are there, and maybe he's touching them, maybe he's grabbing them. But if the girl doesn't want to be touched, she can be very vocal about that and make that apparent. So how hard do you have to like disobey or be pervy and autism and all up in her physical space after she says, hey, back the fuck up, that a girl, because look, girls are crazy, you know, and girls are, you know, irrational and nuts sometimes. And there are a lot of women who will say they've been raped when they haven't been raped, and you name it, Stripes. A lot of girls will cry wolf. But I like to think that the type of girl that's going to be rolling up into an adult store has her shit together in a certain capacity where, like, if a guy comes up and does something that she doesn't like, she'll say, bro, back the fuck up. You know what I mean? Step off, right? And then she may even give the dude another chance. If she says it like, yo, I just told you, before she's going to want to involve police and go, why are you harassing me? And then take statements and bullshit like this. That's a waste of everybody's time. That's a waste of her time. You know what I'm talking about? So I like to think that it must have escalated in a very ridiculous capacity for this guy. And, you know, forgive, you know, I'm so sorry to whatever woman that he was inappropriate with, because if you read this thing again, Stripes, he says that he was denied unemployment benefits, right? Because he got fired from his job for sexual harassment. But then he also won, Stripes. He also won, meaning that he was justified in his, like, trying to seek out, you know.
So he wasn't arrested, but he did lose his job.
Well, yeah, he lost his job, but this is after the fact, Stripes. So he loses his job as a jizz mopper because he sexually harassed somebody, and now he's trying to apply for unemployment, and they won't give him unemployment.
Oh.
He won't get the benefits of unemployment because of this termination, because of, you know, sexual harassment. So then he goes to find a lawyer to be represented to say, this is unjust. This is not right, that I can't seek unemployment and I can't get what I need because I was terminated because of sexual harassment. And then the law finds in his favor, Stripes. Somebody said, how do you get fired as a jizz mopper? Somebody else said, drinking on the job.
Oh.
Yeah, drink that jizz. Oh. Number 7, I was working in a law firm and got a call from a reception advising that someone had arrived needing some intellectual property advice. I hate these when they're all clumped up in a big mass like this. It's so difficult for me to read.
I don't know how to use Reddit and how to space things out. I really don't.
I arrived at reception to find a clearly disturbed woman with a persistent facial twitch and a small wheeled suitcase. I took her out of the conference room, or to a conference room, to discuss making sure I kept a good line of sight to reception. She put the suitcase on the table and opened it to reveal a stack of thousands of handwritten pages and 1/2 of a pair of scissors. So I guess a scissor? Shut up. She explained that she had written a manuscript about how the city council gave her schizophrenia and hepatitis, aliens stole her pets, and that it was all part of a bigger conspiracy involving the army and the Illuminati. She was worried that our local newspaper was going to steal her thoughts and publish her manuscript without her consent, and wanted to register the copyright in her manuscript. We then had a perfectly rational and reasonable discussion about copyright laws.
Bless you.
That was a weird one. I explained that in our jurisdiction, she didn't need to register it and that she had rights as an author automatically on creation of her work. I told her that the most useful thing that she could do to ensure that she had evidence of her creative work, and then she should send a digital copy to herself and a friend, and also leave a copy with a friend. That way, if it was published without her consult, she could prove it was her work. We spoke for nearly an hour. She thanked me and left. She got free legal advice, and I didn't get stabbed with a scissor. I hope she found the help she needed.
Is that why she brought it?
Who knows? What was it for, you know? Somebody said you were the help she needed. Oh, that's kind of nice. Number 6, a lady called once asking us to sue her neighbors. They were using voodoo on her. Unfortunately, she had psychic powers and thus knew what they were doing. I respectfully declined. Voodoo only works if you believe it does. Just tell any target to stop believing in it, because believing gives it the power. Number 5, without going into too many details, I had a guy that wanted to bring a class action against the company that made his underwear because he was convinced that his underwear was the reason he had a crooked dick. He assured us that as soon as the jury saw his dick, they'd side with him. No, we didn't take it. Look at this dick. You see how crooked it is? Goddamn. You think I was just born with a crooked dick? Come on now. You got a crooked dick? Do you have a crooked dick? See what I'm talking about? But if we find the people that's wearing these underwear, you won't understand. Crooked dick now. Crooked dick now. Number 4. Shut up, Gael. Crooked dick now. That sounds like a badass dance, you know. Talk about crooked dick now, crooked dick now. Do the crooked dick, crew the crooked crew jump in and do the crooked dick. Do the crooked dick with your crew. Stripes doesn't like to get down on the crooked dick. My apologies. Number 4, a client wanted to sue because there were no strawberries in her fruit salad. Yummy, yummy. And which she brought from the supermarket. Thankfully, a secretary was able to screen the call. She asked if the package said it had strawberries, and the response was, "No, but I thought it would have." I don't know how these people manage to make it through life. Somebody else says, sometimes they win cases like this. That gives the capital and the confidence for them to do it again. That is why they make it through. It's true. It's true. This is why I always say, man, the people who get away with things, they're the ones who are most encouraged to try that shit again. God damn. Am I even talking at the mic this whole time? I've probably been not even speaking at it, which means I've just been echoing across the room like some kind of idiot. That's my own fault, and I apologize, guys. You know, we split this video and we're gonna have to combine it because somebody showed up, as people keep showing up to get things done in my... Have I been sounding weird to you, Stripes?
Not at all.
Okay, hopefully we can go from there. Number 3, guys, I dealt with a guy once who wanted me to take on his road traffic accident PI claim. He had written a poem in Yoruba about the incident. He refused to tell me anything about this case until he's read the whole thing in Yoruba. What the fuck is Yoruba?
Is it a country or a language or both?
Among other problems, I can't speak any fucking Yoruba, as in not one word. As in, that day was the first time I had ever heard of the Yoruba language. I'm not even from a part of the world where I might readily be mistaken for someone who speaks Yoruba. It's a West African language, and I am really, really obviously not a West African. I try to explain to this guy who becomes very agitated and insists that he must read out his poem in Yoruba. I give up and tell him to get on with it so we can talk about his claim. He does. It takes him nearly 20 minutes to finish. Anyway, after he's done, he finishes and sits back with a big smile on his face and said he's certain I'll take his case on now. I begin to ask him some questions about the case, but he refuses to answer. He says that his poem in Yoruba is everything I need to know about his case. Basically, I tell him to fuck off and stop wasting my time. He does, but not before standing around outside my office for an hour or so, reading out his poem to no one in particular, over and over again in Yoruba. What the fuck? This is a crazy entry. I was driving my car one day when a motorbike got in my way. He didn't halt, so it wasn't my fault. Alagbayi so sanyofu bogobre. Somebody said, I fucking love this. Google tells me it means something like this gentleman will pay for everything, but pay must come at the end because of day and way. He didn't halt, it wasn't my fault. For everything this gentleman will pay. God damn. The Senate will pay for it all. Oh my God. Ugh. Look, number 2. Not really stupid, but unbelievable. My friend at work, his girlfriend filed for a divorce a few weeks ago. That's right, they aren't married, and common law doesn't apply in Washington State. They lived together for 5 years. She has a job, she isn't on the mortgage, and she left him a few months ago. There are no kids involved. They aren't even engaged. They've never been engaged. And in the divorce, she wants him to leave his house, and she wants to move back in. She wants him to pay her $2,800 a month for some reason. I referred him to my divorce attorney, and now the attorney is probably going to represent him. The chick is nuts. She has already tried to get a restraining order against him, and that was dismissed. Why do these women think they can get away with anything? I mean, they can get away with a lot, which sucks because some women are crazy. But why do they think they can get away with anything? Jesus Christ. Guys, as we go to number 1 on the list of 30 stupidest cases lawyers have seen, it reads as follows. Hey, you want to take down that splash image, Kyle? Thanks. Jeez. Number 1. I am a personal injury lawyer in the UK. I took a call from a potential client that had fallen down the stairs in her own home. She had tripped over her own cat. Those damn cats. She told me that she wanted to sue her local authority as her home was owned by the council and she was not allowed to keep pets as part of her lease. But it's your cat. She claimed that when the house was inspected, she was not told to get rid of the cat. It was therefore the council's fault that she fell down the stairs. We didn't take the case on. This poem for your Sprague here? No, I wonder where that guy is.
He must be on another ass list. Why don't you follow him more closely?
Because I don't give a damn, you know what I mean? Why do we need a poem about, somebody fall? And I fell down the stairs because of my cat. And I almost broke up my back. Now, I called up the people and was like, you people are sheeple. Now, what the fuck is up with that? I want to do like a really what's the word?
Dr. Seuss.
I should read Dr. Seuss stuff. Everybody's done that. Find me stuff that people haven't done. Guys, if you're listening to me, find me shit that people haven't done that you think that if I did, it would be pretty cool. Find me something like that. And if you can't do that, or you're maybe not even in the mood to do that, do me a favor and do this instead. On my Patreon, for the people who are, contributing on a monthly basis, I'm offering things like, you can choose whether you want me to cover a song or you want me to narrate something for you up to a certain amount of words. You can choose what I play. If you want me to make a stream for an hour and play a game of your choice. We can watch a movie together or something for a certain amount. But what would be incentive for you to sub to me on a monthly basis with that wallet, baby? I'm kidding. All I really want you to do is keep watching. And everybody who goes above and beyond, Hope, Sean, Frankie, Patricia, Proper, Mavrakis, Luke, Eric, Nicholas, who's new, Lexeus, Emily, fucking Megan sending me stuff from
Is she a Patreon too?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. She may be. She could be. She must be. Bing bong. But again, man, come up with ideas. Come up with something not just for me to read. Because, oh wait, I did that creepy thing earlier today. Did you like that? Would you guys like more of that? If not, I'll just stop. But if you like it on a daily basis, we can mix something up because I'm trying to please people. It's what I do. This list was kind of weird, so I'll look out for a better one, and then I'll make it. Love you guys. We'll talk soon. Anything to say, Stripes? Any icing to put on this cake here? Do I need to give you something to jump off on?
I just really am worried about those ticks.
We're not going to get into the tick situation. We're really not going to get into it. Here's this. It says, try to keep my shoes dry. Oh, it's a guy going through, like, you know, wet puddle. But look, he's trying to keep his shoes dry. What an idiot. What an idiot. It's like he had no understanding of how balance works at all. Oh, boy. Oh, poor guy. Instant Regret is a subreddit for you guys who may not have been here. I wonder if I should just go through certain subreddits, because I think that some of the people who are subscribed to me don't know how to navigate Reddit well at all. And that's unfortunate. So here's Instant Regret. You got two grown-ass men playing on a little kid toy. If it breaks, this is going to be... Oh! No, wait, those aren't grown-ass men. These are kids. Why did they look like teenagers when they were standing up? Them some big-ass boys. Look at them big boys.
They probably are teenagers. At least middle school.
Kids on a big swing. Why they gonna regret it? Why? Because they yelling. They screaming and they don't like it. Stupid. Kid bike meets car bumper. Oh my god. But he's gonna be fine because it's not like we're on Watch People Die. Oh yes. Oh, it's playing it back in slow motion for us. That's like a face Conan O'Brien would make. Don't you wish he was on fucking Simpsons still? That's good stuff. Guys, love you to death. Oh, we'll do something soon. Also, I'm going to stream tonight, for real. I won't fall asleep like yesterday, I promise. Bye. Oh, wait, the Steam sale is on. I'm going to go put stuff on my wish list.